welcome to Meanwhile at the Castle. This is a yarn review, something new for us that we are doing for Red Heart Chic Sheep. So, yes. I am Queen Deborah.
I'm Queen Emily. And we're talking about this yarn as it was introduced and kind of put out into the world at Stitches West, where we were a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And so we wanted to review this yarn.
That was its grand debut.
Yes, it's kind of big opening day. I don't know about you, but when I first heard that Red Heart was vending there, I was kind of like, oh, okay.
I can tell you the first day, it was pretty much dead. And I remember walking by and thinking, Red Heart. Mm-hmm. And then we were curious. Yeah. So, because we were skeptical, so we thought we better go.
I mean,
check
Red
it
Heart
out.
is great as a value yarn. Usually, that's what I think of it as, something you can buy for kind of more crafting type projects. But it's not something I usually knit with. So we were a little skeptical, but interested and kind of curious.
Yeah.
So
we each purchased some yarn. Mm-hmm. Emily purchased a really pretty.
They just have numbers.
Fuchsia color. No, they have names.
Oh, they have names. Now I don't remember what mine is.
We'll have to find out. And then I purchased a coral and a yellow. And so we got some fun colors to test out.
Yes. And so Chic Sheep is marketed as 100% merino yarn, machine washable. It comes in 100 grams. There are 24 different colors, and there's a 100, I believe it's 186 yards. Where is it? If I can find it, it's on here somewhere. 186 yards, I believe. Yes, to 100 grams. So this color is called something, creme de menthe, right there. And they are very vibrant colors. They're very saturated and very solid colors. So something to know about that yarn. So
let's tell you a little bit about the yarn.
Yes. So the yarn is not, when we hear machine washable wool, especially machine washable merino, we automatically think superwash. This is not a superwash yarn. This is a mercerized wool yarn, which I've used mercerized cotton thread before, like in crocheting projects, but I had never used mercerized wool before. So we did a little bit of research and discovered kind of the difference between mercerization and superwash.
Yeah.
So superwash is actually a process. They're similar in a lot of ways. Superwash uses an alkali base, or excuse me, I'm saying that wrong, an acidic base to treat the wool, and then the wool is coated in a really fine layer of resin. But mercerized wool is treated with alkali, and while it's under extreme tension. And wow, it makes a very, very polished yarn.
Yeah.
It's not.
It has a different feel to it. But it's really soft.
It is very soft.
And it doesn't feel squeaky. Like I think sometimes when I'm working with what I would think of associated with this type of softness, that it kind of has a squeakiness to it.
Like an over processed. Although it is definitely processed.
But I have to say that I was very pleasantly surprised. Mm-hmm. We saw it, we went and picked it up, and we both went, oh.
We went, huh, okay.
Yeah. So we thought we should try it out.
Right.
So I thought that it was a really springy yarn.
It's very springy.
Yes. And that's not a bad thing. It just depends on what you're knitting. So I knew that I wanted something that didn't need to be really structured because of the springiness and the bounciness to it. I thought, and the softness, I thought it would be perfect for a baby knit. So I looked for something that would suit that type of yarn. And
we both knit baby knits, partially because they're nice and easy to finish quickly. And we wanted to do this quickly so that you could find out more about this yarn. So go ahead and show us yours.
I knit the Fond of You sweater by Jenny Weeby. I have no idea. Weeb, no clue. It's down below. But I used 2 colors and striped it, and it has a double moss stitch And it, with the double moss stitch and the yarn, it is very springy. Very springy, which is perfect, I think, for a baby. It is really comfortable. It has a nice sheen to it, and it drapes really nicely. It's worsted weight, even slightly erring on the side of a slightly heavier worsted. But I have to say, I started knitting with it, and I got down to the end of my first stripe, and I went, I think I really like this yarn. I think I need to knit something for me. So
I knit the In3's baby cardigan, which I've knit like a bajillion of these. That's why I knit it, because it was in my brain. I didn't even have to look up the pattern. And I will put I don't remember who this is by. I will put that. We'll make sure that's attached here. In3's baby cardigan. It's one color, no seaming, no picking up stitches anywhere. So super fast and easy. I think it's nice. It's not my favorite yarn. So I think that it has the stretch and the bounce and the polish, and it is soft to the touch, but it doesn't have that squish factor that I like. I don't know how to describe that yummy thing.
That's funny, because I was thinking, I love how squishy this yarn is.
I think it is like I said, bouncy. It's, but it's not fluffy. Does that make sense? And I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
it does.
I'm just not giving
because it
good
does have
words.
that polish to
It's
it.
very polished. The stitch definition, which is probably not going to show up super well in a video, is pretty insane. But and you can see it obviously in your patterned sweater. It shows up quite a bit. I don't dislike it, but it's not necessarily something I would probably go to first.
Well,
but the color,
I like
the
color selection that they have. That was the hardest part, was narrowing it down.
So many good
choose
colors.
The color. Well, and not just that, but not everyone can be buying everything indie dyed and the really expensive yarns. I know I can't, and so this is a really great affordable option. I think when you want to knit with 100% wool, something that you can wash easily, and that has really great colors.
Now you machine washed yours.
So I
hand washed mine.
Yes, and I took pictures before and after, and honestly, there's really no difference.
Yeah, there was more of a difference just because there's so much stockinette, so you can just kind of see, and I do have some pictures of before and after.
I mean, there's just barely a slight halo to it now, where there's not really a halo to it before.
There really isn't.
There's really no halo, and after there's slightly a halo. And by halo, that's the little fine hairs. If you hold it up against, backlight, and you can see those fine hairs, that's the halo that we're talking about.
Now, that being one of the other great things, very color fast. So when as I was hand washing it, often you can see it really well if it's going to be color fast. There was no color bleeding whatsoever. No color bleeding into my hands in this very saturated color while I was working. One thing I did notice is that as I was just squeezing it out, my hands came away absolutely coated with fibers. Completely coated. I've never seen that before.
That's interesting.
And so that was interesting, and I'm sure that has something to do with the mercerization process, but that's probably not necessarily something that's going to happen over and over again, probably just because it was the first wash.
Well, I'm doing it in the washing machine, which I never put my hand knits in the washing machine, so I was really curious to try it. I mean, obviously I didn't see any of that, and the color stayed, very true to the original color. So
yes.
Yeah, I am very pleased with it, and I will be knitting with this some more.
So I love that. So we have a little bit of a mix here between us. So hopefully that's actually helpful to you, what kinds of things you like. You really, really like it.
I do.
So if you were going to give it, how many stars out of 5 stars would you give it?
I'd say 4.5 stars, actually.
Nice.
Because of price, the color selection. I like the bouncy and squishiness of it. It was color fast and machine washable. I did not put it in the dryer. I laid it flat to dry. So
I'd probably do
like
3.5 stars out of 5. And I think for me, it's just a personal preference. That's not necessarily because the quality is not there. It's just what do I personally like to knit with. And I think that the really, really polished quality of this loses a little something just for me, for my own personal taste. Also on it is affordable. It's $9.99 a skein. But my thoughts on that are some other worsted weight yarns that you can only buy online, like Knit Picks. Knit Picks has a wide range of worsted weight yarns, and there's some other things like that. And right now this one's only available online too. So it loses a little bit in the convenience factor for me. If it was available locally and I could just go into a store and get it, it would probably notch up a next step because...
I think we're going to have to do another review of Knit Picks because I think we may have some differing opinions on some of that as well.
Well, I'm not saying that that's my favorite yarn either. I'm saying that's probably in the same star range for me. I'm just saying that they're very comparable in price.
But it's nice to have another option. I like having another
is.
option. And it is only available online right now. They said at the show it's only available online right now.
Right. So I'd love to see if they can get that into some of our local stores. That would be amazing. And I think that would probably add quite a bit for me.
Yeah. And so do you know where we can buy this online?
Yes. You just go to redheart.com and under Chic Sheep. And you can find it there. And like I said, 24 colors, lots and lots of colors. And they are gorgeous. And they look like they would all look good together too.
Yeah, they really do look nice. They had some samples of like a blanket that had all the colors in there that were just really nice. The colors that I used, and Emily will have to find hers on my baby sweater, I used this yellow, this pink, and now I switched the bands.
I'm looking to see if I can
The
see
pink was Mai Tai and the yellow was Mimosa.
Oh, I remembered.
And this is what I had left actually after knitting this size 1-year-old baby sweater out of the 2 100-gram skeins. So I could definitely make a baby hat and something else with this. So
absolutely.
It just, I like this one.
That's great. This one, the colorway is called Bordeaux. And I had like 2 grams left over at the end of this newborn size. It says newborn on the pattern. This is not a newborn size,
no,
but that's what the pattern calls a newborn. Maybe it calls it 0 to 3. It calls it 0 to 3 months. So it was barely, and I think I might have made it even a tiny bit short in the body, which is totally fine. So I used it all up.
So if you want to try out this yarn, go to Red Heart and we have a 15% off coupon or promo code Chic Sheep. You ready? Let's try this again. Chic Sheep Show 15.
Which is available until May 1st, 2018.
And if you watch our next upcoming podcast, you will get a little more information about the sweaters that we knit, as well as a giveaway where you can enter to win to try your own skein of Red Heart.
Yes, awesome.
Okay, well, if you've knit with this, would like to hear in the comments below what you think about
absolutely.
it and share your thoughts on it. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.